Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode. Today, I am very, very excited to be joined by the lovely Daisy Hill. So, Daisy is from Utility Warehouse. But what I'll do is I'll let her tell you a little bit about herself and how she got started rather than me rattling on. So, Daisy, hello, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. It's a privilege to be here, Anna, so thank you so much for asking me.
Oh, no, I'm really excited about it. So, Daisy, tell everybody a little bit about you and your background and let people get to know who you are and what you do.
Okay, so I live in Norfolk at the minute, lived here for the last 7 years. I am mum to an 8-year-old little boy who is full of energy, absolutely relentless. Married to Gareth, and I have three stepdaughters. So Gareth's girls are 14, 15, and 20. So we are a very busy blended family. Um, Outside of family life, I have my own architectural design and planning consultancy. So that's my background. Architecture is what I studied at university and did, done throughout my whole sort of adult life. We obviously have our business with UW that Gareth and I do together. And then my husband Gareth runs his own specialist micro bakery as well. So
Wow, busy.
there's never a dull moment. Never.
So, why on earth did you add utility warehouse into this mix of two separate businesses and a family and everything else?
Well, to be fair, Anna, things were quite different sort of 3.5 years ago. So I hadn't started my architectural business then. I was working in design and planning, so I was employed effectively. But during COVID, I had what I think was COVID a few times, got really, really poorly. And one day, I couldn't get out of bed. I honestly thought I was paralysed. I hadn't been feeling great for a few months before, but certainly not to the point where I couldn't do anything. Um, so fast forward a few months, lots of tests, lots of trips to the hospital and specialists, and they finally diagnosed me with something called ME. I am sure I've had it since I was young, since I was a teenager, but growing up, it was never really recognised. I think one of the positive things to come out of COVID is the awareness of long COVID, and that has really brought things like ME, fibromyalgia, to the forefront, and it's really recognised now as the debilitating illnesses that they are. So Gareth and I were in a position pretty much overnight, Anna, where I couldn't work. Sick pay doesn't match a normal salary. That quickly dried up because I couldn't get back to work. Gareth had to sort of take loads of time off to look after me and the children. So we were in a situation within a few months where we had lost pretty much two normal, decent incomes to nothing. And I remember someone saying a while ago, you're never more than two paychecks away from kind of losing everything. And oh my God, for us that was so true. Um, yeah. So it was scary times, stuff you never think is going to happen. Um, I was sort of 30, 32, 33, to then think, oh my God, I haven't got a career. I can't do what I need to do. I can't leave the house. Um, was yeah, was really, really, it was a strange time.
I bet it was horrible.
Yeah, I think when you're in the middle of it, you just try and get through it. When I think back, and I've had lots of therapy now to try and get my head around it. Yeah, it's not something I would ever wish on anyone because I think I don't know, especially when you're a parent as well, and it's your responsibility to keep those little people safe, keep them fed, keep a roof over their heads. That just adds another layer. And I think Gareth and I were in a position where we thought we just need to do whatever it takes. Um, so sort of how we came to UW, somebody we knew had posted on our local Facebook group about saving money. So I'm sure you'll know, lots of people will know, UW Utility Warehouse helps you save money on your household bills. So I always say it's nothing sexy, but it's essential. And we were at a time where I thought if it could save us 20 quid, 30 quid, that's money we can put food on the table with. Had a chat with this lady. I think it saved us about £80 a month. Brilliant. That's exactly what we needed then. And then she showed us the business opportunity, and she said if you wanted to help other people save and do it flexibly from home, when it suits you, um, you could earn from it as well. And Gareth and I were just looked at each other and thought, well, yeah, what else are we going to do that we can do from home around everything else that was going on? And that was that, Anna. We said yes, and kind of 3 years down the line now.
Yeah, never looked back.
Never looked back. Never looked back. No.
So you've added the architectural consultancy back into on top of
Yeah,
UW then. Right.
yeah.
Okay.
So I kick-started that about 18 months, 2 years ago. So I'd started to get a bit better, get back on my feet. Had some really great, sort of medical support and did lots of things to try and help my recovery. Design, architecture is my passion, and I was missing that hugely. But I think probably the really powerful thing, and I'm more than happy to talk about this sort of as we go on, but our UW business, we built it quite quickly. So we were in a position to pursue our passion. So Gareth has only started his bakery recently as well. But our UW business has enabled us to create an income that means we've then been able to kind of focus on what we really, really love, what our passions are. So yeah, that's another benefit of it. It's just given us those choices.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And this is the thing, they say money doesn't bring you happiness, but it gives you the options to choose
yeah,
what you want to do with your life. So many more options that you wouldn't have otherwise. And I think people forget that, it's not about the money, it's about what you choose to do with that money
yeah,
and that time of freedom that it gives you.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think for some people for us it was never thousands a month. I remember when we started, the lady that was sort of mentoring us said, oh, it's something like if you helped a couple of people a month save and you did that for 10 years, you'd have an income that was double, the equivalent of your state pension. And I sort of thought, well, okay, that would cover our mortgage every month. So rather than helping two people for 10 years, what if I helped four people over a month over 5 years and shortened that time frame? Because I think for me, losing my job and my stability, I was so fearful that we wouldn't pay the mortgage. We nearly lost the house. We had to use food banks when stuff was really tough. So I'd had this goal that I was never going to be in that situation again. Um, so I think that's probably what um, drove Gareth and I to build the business quickly, because we had this goal of our income, the sort of residual income, or the passive income, if you call it. We wanted that to cover our mortgage as soon as possible, because then we knew we'd never feel what we'd felt. And that's the power of the business. It's £800 a month that we wanted. We didn't want millions, but to us that was everything. You know,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. And when you want it that much, you go out and get it, don't you?
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think I was really honest. I think if we weren't in such dire straits, I'm not sure I would have been that motivated and that committed to work the business as quickly. Put as
No.
much time in. But for us, it was timing. There was such a need, a want, desperation almost, I suppose, to get back on our feet. And for us, UW offered that opportunity. Well, direct selling network marketing was the only opportunity that could do that for us.
Yeah. So when you say you built it quickly, where are you now? So you started what, 3.5 years ago? What's
So,
happened in those 3.5 years?
so we started 3 years ago. So we've got 400 people that have joined us within our team, um, which is just amazing. When I think it started with just two of us,
Yeah.
I think, oh my goodness, and they're all amazing. It's like having 400 children. You don't know how you're going to love your second one as much as you love your first, and then you get, and it's like we just have so many like-minded people in the team that it's just incredible. Um, so back in April, we hit group leader, which is sort of the true leadership position, top 1% of the business.
Yeah.
Um, I've got my okay, so looking at me. So every day when I'm having a tough day, I put this right in front of me on the desk. A little
What's that for the people listening on a podcast?
oh, so this was the award we got when we got to group leader. So it's got our names on it, and I have it right in front of me. So if I'm having a tough day, I just look at that and I think, right, we've done it. Just keep going, keep going. So that's a little reminder, I suppose, of yeah, of the last few years, and that more to come, even when you don't feel
Yes.
like it.
It's quite addictive though, isn't it? Because you hit your goal of paying your mortgage. You could have stopped there.
Yeah,
Why did you not stop?
yeah. Um, I'm not gonna lie, we had a slight breather because yeah, it's just to really enjoy the moment, because I think it's really important to celebrate the little steps. Um, Otherwise, I think it is a business that can feel, sometimes you go 2 steps forward, sometimes you feel like you're going 10 steps back. You're not, as long as you keep going, but it feels like that,
It does. It
doesn't
does.
it? So for us, we've made sure we've celebrated each little step, and actually hitting group leader was just a little step on top of all of those other little steps. I think for us, I know, what this business has done for us from day one. I felt so passionately that I have a duty to share that with other people, and it's always been about that. From the get go, I think people have thought I was just a little bit crazy that a business to do with electricity and broadband is so exciting. But the opportunity absolutely is, and it doesn't matter whether it's UW or if it's another network marketing business. The business model, the opportunity is like no other. Um, who wouldn't want to work a business, help other people benefit, and it can just go on and on. No, nobody loses. Nobody loses in it, and I love that. So for me now, it's about just continuing to share it with other people, change their life however they want it, whether that's 200 quid a month, whether that's drop half a day at work a month, whatever. That's what I'm here for, and that's where I get so much pleasure from the business.
Yeah. Yeah. So way back at the beginning, how did you manage to work not being able to get out of bed?
I did it in bed. Um, there's probably several hundred WhatsApp or Zoom screenshots of me in my dressing gown. So there's a bit of an inside joke in the team that I built a business in my dressing gown. And I think initially when we started the business, because so much of it was getting support from family and friends and just sharing the word about the business and what we were doing, it was okay to be in my dressing gown because they knew I wasn't very well. And that was part of my story. It was always about, look, I'm doing something because um, I need to I need to pay the mortgage. I need to keep this sane because I'm not somebody that can just sit and do nothing and wallow.
Yeah, yeah, keeping your mind active when you are feeling rubbish is so
Yeah,
important.
yeah. And I make no secret about this either. You might have seen bits and bobs on Facebook. This business absolutely saved my life. I have gone to some dark places with my illness. I've lost so much of probably myself and my independence. This business just gave me something to focus on, and it gave me a community of people, and that's incredible. But to me, that's the biggest thing I've got from the business. Actually, aside from the money, aside from everything else, it absolutely saved me, saved us. Um, so yeah, I got a little. My heart's probably purple.
Well, do you know what? I hear it so often, and I was the same. I didn't come into this for the money. I came in for that feeling of belonging and that feeling of being known for doing something because I followed my husband around in the RAF for
Mm,
however many years. I've got kids. I've completely lost my identity and thought, well, I'm not me anymore.
Yeah,
This, as much as I love my kids and as much as I love my husband and all this, there was a bit of me missing.
yeah,
And I suppose it's a similar feeling, but not quite as dramatic as yours. But it's it gives you that back,
yeah,
and that I think is far more powerful than the money it can earn.
yeah, yeah. And I think, you will have seen this as well. People come into the team and it's you go on a journey. Some are quicker than others, some go forward, some go back. And this business is there and the community that you have around you is there always.
Yeah,
We've had people in the team that have gone through some really, really challenging, really sad times, really difficult times. And I think they've realised the same thing as me and you. You become part of something that it is there for you. It's got you always. And you
yeah,
don't just be have you don't just have to be working in the business to be part of it. And that's so special. Yeah.
yeah. And I think that people who are really successful in network marketing get that.
Yeah.
And if you are in a team that doesn't give you that, you go out and you create that for your team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can't expect that to come. Your team are incredibly lucky to have that. I was incredibly lucky to have a little bit of that, but I made sure that my team had so much more of that, the bits that I was missing, the bits that I loved about the industry, so that they could have that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think we were so lucky. The people that sort of introduced us to the business, and the people that mentored them had a fantastic culture of support.
yeah,
And that's all we've ever known. So we've passed that down. We've probably added a little bit of Gareth and Daisy as well because we're different. Um, but now throughout our team, say our team, sorry, the people we've brought into the business, um, they're building their teams and they're putting their little bit onto it. And I suppose it's like when your children start to grow up and go off a little bit. We're kind of watching that now, and there's so much joy in that. There's
there
so much,
really is. Yeah,
yeah,
there really is.
yeah,
And then being able to pass that joy onto them when they start having these fledgling little businesses that go out and have leadership within them, and yeah, it
yeah,
is phenomenal.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like even now I pinch myself because, and I don't know if you felt this, but in the early days when you're desperately trying to get other people to see the business in the way that you do, and you feel like nobody will see it how you do, and then now I sort of stand back and think, oh my goodness, we have this amazing bunch of people that get it, and it was so worth it. It was so worth all the people that said no, all the people that said, "Why are you doing this, Daisy? You're an architect or whatever." But we just kept going. We knew it. We knew it. We could see it. But now seeing other people do it is like, yes, that's why we did it. I'm
Yeah.
so glad we carried on.
Exactly the same. And I was feeling exactly the same way at the weekend because I went to go and speak at the Viva MK conference on Saturday,
Mm,
stood in front of this room full of consultants, leaders, brand new, old school, been in the industry longer than me with various companies. And I remember standing there thinking that pinch me moment of, you know what, this is why I do this. This is why I do this because I can help those people. I can show them how it can change their lives. I can give them the tools to make it happen. Oh
yeah,
my goodness me, the proper pinch me moment thinking I'm making a difference to
yeah,
other people.
yeah. And I don't think you expect that. And I
No,
don't think that's what so many people on the outside, they don't see that. And you can't make them see that. You can't.
no.
You want to because I want everyone to feel how I do with the business. I'm sure you did. You want
Yeah,
everybody to do well, but until they decide to step in and embrace that,
yeah.
you can't.
No, no,
Okay.
you can't. And I suppose at the beginning of your journey, like at the beginning of my journey, I had no concept of any of that.
No.
None whatsoever. I came in to do a little bit of something.
Mm, yeah.
to reach this first little goal that I had. And you're the same, paying off your mortgage.
Yeah.
Brilliant. But that whole community thing and that sense of being able to help so many people, I think that comes later.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right. And then once you're at that stage, there's no going back. Definitely, is there?
No,
When I'm
absolutely
reaching
not.
it.
Oh, so out of these 3 years, what would you say are your biggest realizations about working from home with the challenges that you've got in the background?
My biggest realization. I probably come back to the fact that um, well, I suppose I'm a really big advocate, as I know you are, of this type of business is incredible, and for me, I hope I portray and I do it in a way that gives it what's the word? Um, gives it the credit it deserves. So I think so many people are very quick to dismiss direct selling or network marketing. It's not a proper business,
Yeah,
whatever. It's crazy actually, because when I started my architectural business, the amount of likes, comments on social media that I got, but I'll post something about, when we hit group leader, a few crickets. Um,
yeah, yeah.
people don't recognise this type of business with the importance that it deserves. So
No,
I think for me, the biggest realization is it absolutely is up there with any traditional business. But actually, I think it's better than. Um, for example, I've not felt great today. I've slapped on a bit of makeup for this. I don't feel very well. I don't need to go and do my other business because my network marketing business is paying our bills. How powerful. So my biggest realization is, yeah, you've got something really, really precious. Treat it with what it deserves, um, and make other people aware. Make other people aware. Share that. Um, sorry, I don't know if that's quite the answer you wanted, but yeah, I guess I'm just waking up all the time when things happen, and I think, how does my normal business or how does my UW business compare? Actually, UW wins every time. The business model wins every time.
yeah.
Uh,
And what about comparing that to your old job, pre-COVID job?
oh, do you know what? I can't ever imagine now working somewhere where I only got paid a set amount every month.
Yeah.
With a salary. I'm completely unemployable now, and
I'm sure you're not.
well, my own mindset. That's not to say that I don't. When people join our team, I don't. I never profess network marketing, direct selling to be a replacement for an income. Not in the early stages. I think
No, no, no.
it's just brilliant to run alongside something or to build something. Um, I suppose, when you get further down the line, you can then choose whether you stay in your job or you do another business. Um, but yeah, now I love the fact that you can decide how much effort you put in, and that's what you get back. I used to do 50, 60 hours in my job, but I'd only get paid a 40 hour week. Not that there's anything wrong with that, in a sense, that people make their own choices, but I suppose it's just that awareness of there is another option,
Yeah,
um, and you're all capable of accessing it, and there's no kind of entry requirements, and it could change your life.
yeah. It really can. It changed mine, it's changed yours.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's
definitely.
phenomenal. So what's next for Daisy and Gareth?
No more businesses. I think there's so much we're doing now with people in the team who are working towards some significant milestones, which is lovely. It's so lovely to see people doing I suppose what we did, but we have a little bit more hindsight, and we're able to guide them as well. So it's nice to be able to kind of be there for them. Um, I suppose there are some kind of senior national levels which will come, but they are so much of that is about helping your team achieve it. It's not something you can just do on your own. But then again, the business is not something you can do on your own. It is so much about, bringing other people with you.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, group leader was a massive, massive goal for us, and it triggers so many different things in the business on a leadership level, on an income level. Um, Now I'm probably in a stage where I'm enjoying the business so much because I can really give so much back. I have the time and the space and hopefully a bit of the knowledge to give back. I still probably make really bad mistakes or don't do things, to get the best outcome, but I'm still learning. I'm not
Yeah.
don't do
We're all
everything.
still learning.
Yeah, I don't do everything.
And you've got great upline to go to and the great support from the company. And this is the thing with network marketing as a business model.
Yeah,
There's always somebody else who has been where you are,
yeah,
whether that's in your company or with outside of your company, that you can go to and get that support and
yeah.
that knowledge and that advice, which is just not available in a normal business.
No, no. I think that's the other thing. It's a really good point, actually, Anna, because my other business, I feel very alone. I'll work with other specialists. If we're doing a project together, but it's a really lonely place at times. Really lonely. I never feel like that with UW, and I think that's why I've never let go of UW. But if there's sometimes moments where it can feel tough, or you can think, oh, have I got the motivation to put myself out there and do that? But what brings me back is that you are just part of something so special, and you get so much from it. It's not just the money. It's not just you know um, the status or whatever people think that they want from it. It's not. There's all the other stuff that comes with it. You've got someone there that has got your back at all times.
Yeah, yeah. And one last question
Yeah.
for all the audience out there that are going to be watching. What one thing would you give to them? What one piece of advice would you pass across?
Hmm. Probably the thing that I'm a lot better at now, and I wish I'd done sooner, was not wanting it for someone more than they want it for themselves.
Yeah. Oh
So
gosh.
I,
Exactly the same.
yeah, and I think again we're probably really similar in that, Anna.
Yeah.
You want people to feel what you feel, and you would probably put more in than most to try and get them to, that next promotion, that next customer. But it's so true. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And when I look back, the speed of our business was definitely stunted because I didn't know when to not let go of people because, they're still welcome in the business. Of course they are, but you can't do it for them. You
No.
cannot do it for them. And I think I tried too much, which took the focus away from our business. It took the focus away from, you know, probably bringing other people in that would want the opportunity. So that's been massive for me. Now I'm not so hard on myself when I'm like, actually, do you know what? I've met you here and then I've tried to meet you here and you haven't moved. So I'm still here. I still love you, still very welcome, but you know, actually I'm still gonna crack on and do what I need to do.
Oh, absolutely. I am going to ask you one more question because I think there's a lot of people out there right now listening to this who are maybe in a very similar situation to you, but you 3 years ago,
Okay.
with not feeling great, really struggling to do stuff, health issues, money issues, not able to get out there and do.
Mm.
What would you say to those people that are where you were 3 years ago right now?
Um, I would say, yeah, have an open mind. So we had never, I don't think I'd ever heard of direct selling and network marketing. Yeah, sorry, no, I don't maybe bought makeup and things from Tropic, but as a business model, I never really paid it much attention. Um, I think people feel like a job will give you security when you are. quite limited in what you can do. I think the best thing you can do is really be in control of your own energy and your own diary. For me, that has been a game changer. And even now with my traditional business, I'm in charge of when I book appointments, when I talk to people, and that is so important for me with my health and my energy levels. So don't be afraid to try something that might be different to what you've been used to. Um, know that you absolutely don't need to resign yourself to a lifetime of being or surviving on, you know, benefits, because that was all that was offered to me, some benefits. And I thought, that's not the life I want to lead. No. I want holidays. I want my son to, I'm just looking at changing his school to pay for a school rather than a state school. I'm like, no, I don't want that. I'm not going to accept that that's the card I've been dealt. Like, just know that there's some things there that you can really do. And if you've been in a situation where you feel like you've lost it all, believe me, you will have more fight and more resilience in you than most people. So
Too right.
go
Too
for it.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. That's been brilliant. It's been absolutely
Oh,
fantastic. Can you tell everybody where they can come and find you if they want to come and
yeah.
investigate further?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a website, so I can we could share the link.
Yep.
Should
Yeah, I
we
could
share
put
that
it in the show
after?
notes. Yeah.
Yeah. If not, believe it or not, I don't use Instagram. I don't use LinkedIn. All I use for our UW business is Facebook. I'm a real kind of Luddite, really. I'm not all out there on social media.
Which proves you
Um,
don't need to be. These people who say, "Oh, I have to be on social media to be
yeah,
successful," it's rubbish. You don't.
I love talking to people. Yeah, so really just on Facebook, Daisy Hill, nothing special, just me. But yeah, we will. I'll give you the links and we can share
Yeah,
that.
brilliant. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.